And we've been out a while.
Well, it's because it's been 155 damn degrees outside.
That's true. If we could move it indoors, it'd be good. But can't do that because this is man's.
Not till we get more subscribers and get more money.
It's a man's podcast.
And that's it.
So we're going to do some more baseball. Going down to the catchers, the last in position on the infield, and this wasn't too difficult, but it still had its challenges.
Well, it made me realize
There aren't any good catchers.
there's catchers back in our day, the 70s and 80s, were a hell of a lot better than the catchers they got now.
Well, the art changed.
Yeah,
The art just changed.
The need for them is different.
Yeah. So, all right, come on back in. Let's talk about it. Here we go. And we welcome you back to the Midnight Riders podcast. I'm Johnny.
And I am Chuck.
And we are back, and we took a little sabbatical there. It's got hot outside. I had to do some remodeling in the old shed. It's looking a little better, got a little more room, got everything reset up. It was hard to podcast when you had your shit on the floor.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
We're good to go.
It's been a long-ass week.
We're fancy now.
We are,
Nice.
We got the nice little the old backdrop back where it goes. And
Went down from 12 wires hanging around to like about 3 or 4, so we're getting there.
Not too bad. No, it's just
Really good.
It's not that bad of an electrical hazard.
Hell no.
Anyway, we're going
We're
to talk
good.
about some Major League Baseball catchers, the ones that we think are the best from our era. The one that would be for me, the early 70s. For him, more like the late 70s.
Mid to late 70s, yep.
But let's just go here. Let's start here. You want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start because I only got one guy who's currently playing on my top 10 list anyway.
I couldn't even find
I
one
found one.
that I thought was worthy to be on the list of all these guys. Who's your number?
And I went back and forth on it between him and a couple guys on my honorable mention, but
Yeah. Well, who's your number 10?
number 10, Salvador Perez for the Royals.
Well, see, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got game.
He's kind of a throwback guy. Like I said, the problem is he's been playing for the Royals, so not a lot of people that now they're starting to see him. But the guys,
Well, you get absolutely nothing if
Right.
you're playing with the Royals. You get no press, you get no pop, you get none of that mess.
and he's had nobody to hit around him. He's had nothing.
No.
He's been playing for 13 years,
No.
5 Gold Gloves,
Yeah.
271 home runs, over 900 RBIs on that team,
Yeah.
and a career 268, 269 hitter. The guy's good. He's kind of
Well, he's one of those
a throwback.
and he's going to be around a
type of
while.
guy. Yeah.
I mean, he's not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, the guy's got he's really good back there, and I think he's kind of got a little bit of the throwback to him. So
Yes.
I'm gonna agree with
Yep.
you on that.
And they're-
None of the current guys made my list.
No.
I just couldn't put them over some of these old guys.
I've got two guys that are still playing on my honorable mention, but that's the only one. I
Well,
got.
he almost made my list because he's already got 5 Gold Gloves. I
Right.
mean, the guy's been around
Yeah, exactly.
not that long, and he's already got
Exactly.
5 Gold Gloves. So he's
He's
one
good.
of those guys that can.
He's good.
Well, my number 10, I had a little issue. I had to put a Cardinal in here. I don't like arch enemies, Cub fan, Cardinals. So I went with Ted Simmons over Yadier Molina. I mean, Molina I probably should have put in there because he's got 9 Gold Gloves. He's not an offensive threat by any means in my eyes. The more I think, I'll go with Molina at number 10 with Ted Simmons and almost there, but I'll go with Yadier Molina at number 10.
Yeah, I had him at number 8.
Yeah, I'll put him at number 10. It's just all the damn Gold Gloves. See, the catcher's positions to me is more. It's more about the defense and running the infield and running the team than it is hitting the ball. That's what it is for me. It may be different for you. It may be different for you folks out there. My thing about a catcher is that you got to run the show, and he runs the show. I mean, he does.
Yeah, no, he's again. Well, he had over 1,000 RBIs, 176 home runs, but he played for 19 years.
Right.
All of it in catcher.
Right.
And yeah, as far as field generals, leaders, I don't. Other than a couple guys way high up on my list, I don't know of anybody else that did it as well as him.
Well, he's one of those guys. Win or lose, he was out there company guy.
Yeah.
Played hard every day.
Yep.
He could run the team. I mean, this is
Could-
for you. This is for you, Roger.
Could-
I didn't want to.
I
But I
got 2
did.
Cardinals on my list.
I did.
Yeah.
Where in the hell did you? Oh,
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Number 9, Chuck. What do you got? Number 9.
Can we skip number 9?
Oh shit.
Because I didn't want to put him on there, but I had to. I kept trying to find a way to get him the hell off my list.
Okay,
but
well,
I couldn't do
I think I've got him at number 8. I got him at number
it.
8.
Number 9 is Gary Carter.
Oh hell no, I didn't put that
Yeah,
so much on my
I
list.
know.
I couldn't do it.
I tried not to.
I couldn't. He's my number 1 honorable mention simply because I didn't like the guy.
I didn't either.
And
I never liked him.
my thing about him is like we've talked about. The catcher needs to run the team. He needs to be a team guy, and I never thought he was a team guy.
Yeah, that's true. If that's one of your criteria, yeah, I can definitely see that. I didn't like the guy. I never liked the guy,
I
but
didn't like him.
his numbers just, good God. 19 years, 324 home runs,
Yeah.
over 2,000 hits.
The guy has the numbers. The guy was an offensive. He can offense.
Yeah.
His defense wasn't the greatest,
No.
but
No.
he was there every day. He played every day. He played hard. Yada yada. A baseball guy. I
Yeah.
just don't think he had that intangible for me as the team guy that a catcher needs to be.
No. And I've got
my
another,
opinion.
I've got another one like that for
Any
other
of you
reasons,
Mets
but-
fans out there want to tell me I'm wrong? Go ahead, comment down
Yeah.
there. But I'll argue with you.
Yeah.
I-
Just like
I-
I argue with you when anybody
don't
says
like
he
him.
was a Dodger. I know he played for him, but I don't include him.
Yeah,
he's
he's
always.
He's an expo for me and a Met, and I hate the Mets because I'm a Cub fan, so you got to
And-
hate the Mets.
And again, with catchers, like you said, you got to be able to lead. And growing up, all you hear is how big of a prick this guy is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Steve Garvey thing.
Yeah.
Big Dodger fan, but
Yeah.
you're still an asshole to everybody. So
Yeah.
not really a team guy.
I
not really
never-
a team player.
Well,
so
I just
I had to just put him on there because of where he's at.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was
Okay.
that was my number 9.
my number 9, and y'all are gonna laugh at me. He's gonna laugh at me. I'm going with Jody Davis, and here's the only reason why.
God damn it.
I mean, the guy was a monster. Okay. Yeah, I mean, career. Well, I got his numbers here. I mean, you only had 245 batting average. I mean, he played 10 years, only had 127 home runs. I mean, the guy was not out there for his offense. He ran that team. I watched. That's back when you watched the Cubs every day on WGN. Son of a bitch! I watched him catch at least 4 doubleheaders.
Oh, he was fun
The
to
guy
watch.
was a beast.
The
The
was
guy
fun to
could.
watch.
He was a baseball guy.
Yeah.
Solid as a rock. I probably shouldn't have put him in the top 10. The thing is, I watched him
Hey.
so much.
Yeah.
I saw what he was. I saw what he did for the team, and as a team guy, as a guy that could lead, could run the team, he was just a great
Yeah.
guy.
No, he was good. He was fun to watch, and again, you could tell that he controlled that team. Him and
Yeah.
Sandberg, just
Yeah.
with how they went, that team went. So
Yeah.
I get that.
All right, number 8. You already had Molina.
No,
I'm
but
going to
yeah,
go
yeah.
with my number 8, and I didn't want to put him on my list, but I did. Jorge Posada.
Decided, nope, didn't put him on my list
I again,
for the reasons you didn't put Carter on your
again,
list.
it's a personal thing with the Yankees. But here's a guy. I mean, lifetime 270 hitter, 1,000 RBIs, played 17 seasons. He was there every stinking day. Just solid as a rock. I mean, the guy did everything he needed. He kept his mouth shut, but he ran a good team. I mean, you had Jeter, who was really the
Leader,
guy
right.
running the show. But a catcher's got to be the guy who can be there every day and take care of business and call the pitches and
Yeah.
and manage the guy was just. I mean, I can't take it away from him. He was a good player. He was.
He
I
was
can't
good.
take it away from him.
He was good. I just couldn't put him above anybody else that I have. That was my deal. Everybody else, I think, had from what I watched and what I saw, that everybody else had a.
Well, my
Better.
Gary Carter thing was a heart thing, and same thing with Posada. I couldn't keep them both
Yeah.
off. Posada wins over Carter. I mean,
Yeah,
just because I think he
did.
kept his mouth shut and he played
Well,
hard.
he was a better team guy for sure.
Much better team guy. I got to go with Posada.
Yep.
Who's your number 7?
My number 7 is the only Yankee that I could stand put on there, and that was Thurman Munson.
See, Thurman Munson was just golly hard. He didn't make my list.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
hard nose.
I remember him. He was, and I said, hated the Yankees. I've always hated the Yankees. But I remember in the late 70s, like I said, when I was really, really getting into watching baseball.
Yeah.
That guy,
When did the plane crash?
80, 81, 82.
79, 80, 81. So, but I mean, it was a loss. It was a big loss.
But he had played for 11 years, only 113 home runs, but in those 11 years, almost 1,560 hits, hit 292. He helped keep a team together that had and Reggie Jackson on it, for God's sake,
and
Billy
Martin's
Martin's disaster.
Yeah,
I mean, he controlled and he
well,
ran that.
Well,
team.
you had him and you had Chris Chambliss, both guys who actually.
Yep. I mean, you had
they were hard. I mean, those are the guys in the clubhouse that'll just whip your ass.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not going to straighten up, I'll just kick your ass.
Well,
right
you had,
here. And they did.
Yeah, you like him or not, but Greg Nettles the same way.
Yeah.
Bucky Dent, same way.
Yeah.
That team was, as much as I hate them because of the
Tough.
whole Yankee Dodger thing.
God, they were tough.
They were tough. They were fun to watch. And Munson was just, I just always thought he was cool. I just loved watching him play catch.
Well, he's
He
one of
was
those guys I'd love to have on my team at any time.
Yes.
Anytime. I mean,
Exactly.
the guy was just solid as a rock, hit well, hit in situation, and just try to take him out sliding into home. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Take
Well,
your,
he
take your best shot.
He only played for 11 years. He
Well, he's like a fucking linebacker.
And he was an all-star for 7, back when the all-star game actually meant something. He got voted in for on reason other than what the hell they do now. So, no, he was my number 7.
Well, I should have had him in there, but I just couldn't make room because, Jody Davis needed me on my list.
Yeah, almost the same player.
Number 7 for me is Tony Pena. He's another Cardinal.
He was on my
but he's more of a Padre.
Padres. He was honorable mention of mine.
Padre, Pirate. This guy reinvented the catching position for me. Whenever he was playing in the early '80s and they brought him up, he had that stance where one leg's over here, the other leg over here, throwing guys out from his knees. Throwing guys out at first as they lead. The guy was just amazing to
He's
watch.
one that started all that mess. You wouldn't have a Yadier Molina without somebody like that.
He's one of the Dominican surge in catchers. I mean, this guy is the one that did it. This guy started it. And if you can go back and watch some clips of this guy in his in the early '80s when he was with Pittsburgh, the guy was amazing to me.
Yes.
He was just amazing to me. Watching this kid play, he was. What's his lifetime hitter? He's only 260 hitter, 700 RBIs, 100 home runs, 290. But the guy, his defense and his abilities and his skills and his innovation of the position. For me, puts him in the top.
Definitely. I say he was my second on my honorable mention, but he just barely missed it off. But he was good to watch just because, like I say, he reinvented a lot of stuff, and a lot of us, it was kids back in that day, we tried to mimic what he did and couldn't do it. But it was cool to try.
Well, because you get yelled at by your coach. Get off your ass and throw the ball. You can't throw the ball from your knees. Get up. It's one of those deals. This guy could.
Oh,
and he's playing in the bigs, and he did.
Yes.
So
yeah.
What's your number 6?
My number 6 is the one you'll yell at me for, but I don't really care because his number say so. Mike Piazza. So.
Another friggin' Met that I had to hate. Mike Piazza, he's lazy. He's lazy.
Oh, he was horrible behind the plate.
He's lazy. You can put him on there if you want, but no for me.
Career 308, 2,100 hits, 427 home runs, 1,335 RBI. The guy just.
I put him as
number wise.
Well, I call him the rich man Gary Carter because he personified the same thing Carter did for me. That's me.
That's harsh. Gary Carter and him in the same sentence. People actually like Piazza.
Well,
plus, how do you not like the story though? I mean, he didn't get drafted only because he was Lasorda's grandson.
Oh yeah.
In the 800th round or whatever it was, and turned out to do what he did.
I know.
Granted, maybe steroids had something to do with it.
He had everything handed to him, and they held his hand the entire way. Nothing wrong with that. But he's nothing more than a higher punch Todd Zeal to me. I mean, the guy
good Lord.
I'm bringing out some good ones for you because this guy was just.
Christ.
I didn't like this.
This
guy.
from the guy with Jody Davis, number 9.
Jody Davis is number 9. Let me turn the microphone up a little bit because I got to lean up. My back's hurting a little bit. I don't want to lean down on the microphone.
Even Harry Carey's arguing.
Jody Davis. Well, he didn't call him Jody Davis. He called him something else. So how much he had to drink that day. We need to do a list of announcers.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Holy cow. All right, Mike Piazza at number 6.
Who's your number 6?
My number 6, another guy that 250 hitter. Wasn't in the lineup to hit. Wasn't in the lineup to move runners. The guy was in there to stop people, and that is Bob Boone.
Ooh, okay.
7 Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
Played with the Phillies. Played with the Angels, and a couple years with the Royals at the end. But he was so good with that Philly team. I mean, he caught guys like Steve Carlton and that group that was over there, and he was just a mainstay. The guy was just solid as a rock.
Yeah, he was
another one of those guys that could catch a doubleheader and not bitch about it.
Right.
I mean, played with a lot of injuries. Could call a game.
How many years did he play?
Back when catchers actually called games.
Yeah.
He played 19
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
10 with the Phillies, 7 with the Angels, 2 with the Royals. I mean, the guy was just good as far as a catcher. He did well. He was great. Not in there for an offense. Yeah, he's a little high. He's number 6 for me, but
I didn't have him on my mind.
He was one of
honestly, I
those-
didn't even really think a whole lot about that. I mean, that goes. I mean, he played on those teams with Schmidt, and Wilsinski, and Ebner.
right.
I mean, you didn't really think a whole Boa.
Boa.
Yeah, Larry Boa.
But see, he's a guy that hit 7th or 8th every year.
Right.
He wasn't in the lineup to hit
Yeah.
the ball. He was in the lineup to stop. He was in the lineup to be a good catcher, in the lineup to run the pitching staff, and he was just so good everywhere.
Right. And that's kind of this conversation we had with our last one. Second baseman and shortstop.
Yeah.
The rules, the needs for what catchers are has changed over years.
Yeah.
Like shortstop and second baseman, you didn't really give a shit if they hit 230.
No.
As long as they could fill the position. Same thing with catchers.
Well, now
produce a little bit.
now
but
they want everybody to hit the ball.
Yeah, now everybody hit 40.
Nobody gives a shit at what your defense
Right.
is. Oh, you can play short. Oh, that's great. That's
Right.
great. What's your how
Yeah.
fast can the ball
Yeah.
travel when it leaves your bat?
Yeah.
Who
What's your,
cares?
yeah.
Who cares?
Get me started.
Here we go. See, now here we're off on those. I
I
always
know,
get on that
but-
same damn tangent.
But because velocity and
because we love the
Bullshit.
game. Who's your number 5, Chuck?
number 5. Well, I put him on here instead of Pena, just a lot for the same reason. Benito Santiago.
I got him on my list.
Um,
I actually have him at number 4.
263 hitter, 217 home runs, 920 RBIs. But the thing that impressed me most, and I didn't even realize it,
Right.
guy played for 20 damn years.
Yeah.
And he
20
caught all
Yeah.
20 years.
So he played San Diego, then he played with the Marlins, then he played with the Reds, then he played the Phillies, and then the
Mhm.
Blue Jays, and then the Cubs, and then the Reds.
Yeah.
The Cubs, and the Reds, and the Giants, and the Royals, and the guy played it. This is one of those guys that played everywhere. It's like nobody wanted him, but everybody
But
needed him.
everybody needed him you needed him in the dugout. You needed him
Yes.
you needed him for the pitcher's sake.
Yes, and I honestly think I give this guy a lot of credit, and I think he was one of those guys. He played in a lot of different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I think he helped this rash of the Dominican
Oh,
Hispanic
sure he did.
catchers that are just taking
Sure he
over right
did.
now. This guy here, along with Tony Pena, this guy took
Yes.
poor Pena left off. This guy
Yes.
took over, and it's just done so much for the game.
Yeah.
This guy did so much for the
Well,
game.
and he was your at that time your prototypical 6'1", 240-pound catchers.
Yeah.
Who were brick houses back there. Then you got this kid who's I don't know 6'2", 200 pounds maybe,
Yeah.
skinny.
And he
But good lord,
well he
guy
proved
had
he
he was an
proved
athlete.
that you didn't need to be a rock back there. The agility was just fine.
Yes.
And this guy was incredible.
Yeah.
And an arm like a friggin'
Oh
cannon.
man, the way
Um,
you thought Pena could throw people out from his knees. This guy was doing it. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I saw him throw a guy out
Well,
sitting down
yeah,
one
I've
time.
never-
The guy just
I
that
never
godly.
saw anybody that could throw behind a runner so well as
Yes.
this guy.
Yeah, he could backpick somebody out
Just
at first base.
smooth as silk.
Yeah. And,
Incredible.
yeah, he was one of those guys that my years of coaching, I had a catcher that was a great kid for my age growing up, and that's
Right.
Santiago's the guy. He used to ask me, how do I do this or this? And Santiago's one of those guys. He used to tell me,
Watch a
go
video.
watch him.
You know,
You want to go learn how to throw behind a runner and the
Well,
psychology behind some of that. Go watch
yeah,
him.
but one thing that was wrong about this guy is the way he got down in that crouch and had one leg out here and one leg out here. He got hit in the thigh
Oh,
so many
yeah.
times. I felt
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know. in today's world, he'd
Yeah.
be wearing a suit of armor
Right.
because these big babies out there that wear all the shit all over themselves.
And again, played for 20 years.
Yeah.
And caught every single year. He didn't move to third base or first base or to the second like most of them have to do.
Well, no, and the thing about it is, if you look at it, in his first year in in Bigs in '96, he played 130 games.
Yeah.
His last season with Kansas City, he played 118 games.
Yeah.
All behind the plate.
Catching.
The guy wasn't a hitter, so he wasn't a DH.
Right.
All behind the plate.
Yeah. He just
So-
he impressed me.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones I just he was so much fun to watch.
I mean, 108 games. Sorry, 108 with the Giants.
There you
his
go.
Third to last season. So, but anyway, that's San Diego number 4. I'm going with my number 5. I'm going to go with Jason Kendall.
Really?
Yeah. And this guy, he's a 288 hitter. He also, for me, changed the position a little bit. Here's a guy come and hit leadoff or hit the 2-hole as a catcher, which is just unheard of.
He could steal bases.
Steal bases, had speed, had ability, had a good arm. Really liked his team attitude. This guy was a big-time team guy. Would do whatever was asked of him. Hit anywhere in the lineup. He'd actually play other positions if asked because they needed it. The guy was just that. I liked Jason Kendall.
He was good. I couldn't. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
but I never really thought of him as that next level up guy.
Well, again, for me,
But
I've watched
good.
it. Yeah, I saw a lot of him, and I liked him.
I know it was different watching like you said, watching the catcher hit leadoff. That was cool. A guy who could hit it and do it, and you get other ones down the road like your Russell Martins and those. They followed along, but there wasn't many, and there still aren't many that hit a high up in the order.
No, not at all. And he was just another different style of catcher that I really dug.
Yep.
Really enjoyed. So
No, he was good.
But you got a number 4.
Number 4, I got Ted Simmons.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I had him at number 10, maybe. What about him?
I think it was just one of those. I mean, he was in the heart of when I really, really started. 77, 78. Like I said before, that's when I really, really was getting heavy duty into baseball.
Right.
And Simmons, it just seems. I mean, in his numbers were even better than I thought. Almost 2,500 hits, 248 home runs. Played for 21 years. He was just that guy behind the plate, and I hated the Cardinals. But the teams he played on were horrible, were not very good, and he just seemed like he led the team. He controlled the team.
Yeah.
As he went, they went. Hit cleanup, but he's on a team with, I mean, good Lord, like Keith Hernandez and Bate McBride and Richie Hebner, and they just weren't very good.
No.
They or McBride with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cardinals. Ken Reitz, third base. But yeah, he was just one of those guys that stood out to me. Growing up, I loved watching him play. It was always a guy that stuck in my head that he was just really, really
another
good.
one of those big catchers.
Yes.
That's why I had him on my list.
And played 21 years.
But
in an era that he got ran over at the plate multiple times a year, but you didn't really want to run over him at the plate because
guess it was
he
just
was
a
monster.
It's just a Cardinal.
It's a Cardinal.
All right, it looks like our top 3 are the same ones. Let's
Probably.
see what order we put them in. I have number 3. My number 3 was Carlton Fisk.
That's my number 3 also.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
This guy was just a baseball player.
And
he's just a ball player.
Honestly, I almost put him number 1 just because he was, as far as catchers, he was my favorite catcher.
Well,
but I couldn't because of the other 2 in front of him.
I had him at number 2 for a long time.
Yeah.
So I really started breaking it down. Yeah. And the Gold Glove thing is what changed my. He maybe won 1 or 2.
I don't know if he even won 1.
Well, your catcher is there for defense, and your catcher's there to call a game, and your catcher's there to keep everybody in line and call the defense that goes back in the day. Now everybody, whatever.
Right.
He did all of that. Plus, he hit when he needed to. He's a situational hitter. I mean, one of the best in the game. He's only, a 260 hitter or 270 hitter. Yeah, but if he came up and there's runners on first and second, he could hit the ball right field. Hit the ball right field. I don't care what you see. The guy could do anything. The guy was a baseball guy. Yeah. Everything. He lived it. He breathed it. He owned it.
And he was mean as hell.
Mean as hell. Played 24 years. Again, catcher personified. Yeah, he DH'd a little bit in there.
For the
but,
White Sox at the end.
Yeah,
But
half you played 10, 11 years or 10 years or so with Boston. Then you go over to the White Sox and play another 10 years. The guy was golly. You just can't say enough about how good the guy was.
No, he was my favorite.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, catcher-wise, he was my favorite catcher watching growing up. That's who if I was going to be a catcher, that's what I wanted to be. He was just so, you could just look at him and go, yeah, baseball player, catcher.
Well, and
he was that guy.
And he had that mean streak in him.
Yes.
He's one of those guys. You see it in some TV, some movies and whatnot. The catcher always, fucking with the batter.
Yeah.
This guy would.
Oh, yeah.
This guy would.
He reminded
He'd get in your head.
Yeah, he reminded me of the catcher version of like a George Brett.
Yeah. He'd get in your head.
Yeah, he'd get in your head. He would fight you at the drop of a hat. He protected his players.
You don't respect him, you don't get it.
You don't respect him. You don't respect the game. His
pitching staffs respect him. If he said I want one up here, they threw one up here. I mean, so
Fisk was as good as thing. Like I said, I had a hard time not put him at number one just because of my heart pick on him, but the other two were just.
Like I said, I had him at number 2 for a while till the final list came out, and our number 2 is probably your number 2, who is
Pudge Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
13 Gold Gloves. Played 21 years and had 13 Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
311 home runs. Almost a little over 2,800 hits. 296 career hitter.
21 years in the bigs. And he could run. He could hit. He could field. He could.
He's not like I say. He'd hit 2-hole.
Yes,
because he would move the ball. He would do what you needed him to do.
Well, this guy here, he took. We talked about the Santiagos and the Peñas and the guys that changed the style of the position. This guy took on that, but at the same time, he was like Carlton Fisk behind the plate.
Yes.
He was a bigger guy. He was short.
He was short,
stocky, but big.
Yeah, he was
strong. But he could do the Santiago and Peña thing, but he could do the Fisk. But it was incredible what this guy could do.
Yeah, he was one.
He's amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, he was the definite man. I can't say enough about the guy. I mean, past our number 1 pick. I mean,
right?
He was like a reincarnation of him.
Well, let's just you guys know who it is.
Yeah.
Number 1's Johnny Bench, of course, because there's no. But everybody compared this guy to a Johnny Bench, and
Correct.
Okay, here's where we're probably going to get a little bit of flack from people. I don't think anybody is close enough to say they are like Johnny Bench.
No.
No. Johnny Bench.
Bench was
this guy was a beast. He was just. There's no other word to describe him.
No.
He was just a beast. And everything about this guy personified the game of baseball.
Yeah. There was nothing he couldn't do. And he played other base. I know he played outfield a little bit. He played third base a little bit. But
played first base a little bit. But the thing is everything about this guy, if you want to know, if somebody says, what's a baseball player, you just see Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
This guy was, I can't describe it.
The guy caught games with broken hands. I mean, the guy just, he's again, and I tried not to like him because of our brother.
Yeah. He's a big Reds fan.
Huge Reds and Johnny Bench fan. I tried not to like him being the asshole little brother, but I couldn't.
Well,
the guy was
so good. He was enormous. I mean, the guy. Go back. I'm sure they got videos of this shit on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I've never looked for it. The guy could hold 7 baseballs in his hand.
They've got videos of it. I've seen it.
7 baseballs in his hand. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in his hand. This guy was a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd go out. He's one of these guys that would go up there to the plate. And then for all you players today, he didn't have an arm guard. He didn't have a wrist guard. He didn't have a leg guard. He didn't have an ankle guard. He had a helmet with no earlobes. Yeah. And he's talking smack to every batter and every pitcher during the game. And he goes up there ready to hit the ball.
Mm-hmm. You know what else he did when he caught? He did this. Yeah, he had 2 hands up there instead of this one hand tied behind fucking bat because you're afraid.
No, he started the one-hand catch.
Well, he started, but when the situation came,
yeah.
it was still up there. Nowadays, they don't. I mean, they keep that other hand out of the way. You see him when there's runners on.
Oh yeah.
He was up, and the hand was up there because of how quick he was in the release.
Oh, he was so fast.
I mean, but
He
yeah,
was so
you
fast.
don't do that anymore.
Well, he's one of those guys you don't run on.
No, I mean, he didn't give a damn if he broke his thumb, if he broke his finger, or whatever else. Yeah, he started the one-handed catch, but that other hand was there when needed, and now it's nowhere near it.
That's true.
Just because of who he is.
You know, the guy. He innovated the game behind the plate. He became the catcher that everyone needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He became.
He's who you model after. If you want to be a catcher, that's who you. Even in today's world, it's not one of those things that's a generational thing. You want to be a catcher, go watch what he did.
Yes.
I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah.
What age kids nowadays, go watch Johnny Bench. It just doesn't get any better.
No, it doesn't. No, the guy was just that good.
Yeah.
And he'll always. I don't know if there'll ever be a catcher that'll surpass him. But Ivan Rodriguez is close.
Yes, he was a close second,
but
not a real close second.
By close I mean
closer than anybody
if you've
else.
got if Johnny Bench is a 100, and the worst catcher ever is a 1, Rodriguez is a solid 7.5. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's close to 10. If you're using Bench as a 10,
if you're using Bench as a 10, yeah, maybe an 8.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only reason I thought about putting Fisk above was just because of a heart pick, because I just love Fisk, but you can't do it. I don't care how much you love somebody else, you Bench has to.
Well, that was what's so fun about the World Series where they played the Red Sox and the Reds. It was Johnny Bench and Carl Fisk. Of course, you had the big red machine. You had the Red Sox who've never won anything, and then you had the big, the big home run by Fisk, and
But look at and this could be a whole other podcast. I get it. And I was only 5, but I've seen the highlights and the videos of it over and over. But I mean, you're talking Rice, Lynn, Hobson, Fisk, Burleson with Foster, Morgan, Bench, Street. Good Lord! I mean, it's just a Hall of Fame game.
Well, sure, and it was a time you could go home after school and watch Game 4 of the World Series.
Watch World Series
because they started in the afternoon. Which who gives a shit about TV ratings? Let's just let everybody watch the baseball. Let them play baseball. Let them watch the games. But anyway, got any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Well, I actually had Piazza in my honorable mention.
Hell yeah, you did.
I got Lance Parrish just because.
Okay.
He played strong, good Tiger teams.
Yeah.
Of course, he was one of many on the Tiger teams. Again, a guy that he seemed like he was 8 foot tall and weighed about 400 pounds and could lift a VW off the ground, but he was just hard-nosed guy.
Yeah.
Hard-nosed guy.
Not
what
bad.
do you got?
I got Darryl Porter as one of mine.
Heart pick.
Pretty much.
But, well, he was fun to watch.
Played 17 years.
Durable.
Only a 250 hitter. That's why I didn't make my list. Because the numbers just weren't good enough. But
Very durable. Very durable.
But yeah, he was from here, so I always followed him. I always listened to him. But
yeah, I tried to put Tettleton in here too. I just couldn't fit him in.
God, I couldn't. I did too. I looked at it, I was like, my God, his numbers just weren't. No. He just couldn't.
Serviceable catcher.
But Porter did win 4 Gold Gloves. And I say he played 17 years, Royals, Cardinals.
Yes,
he was a good, like you said, good, serviceable,
sure,
reliable, never got hurt. Yeah. I mean, if he did, I don't recall a whole lot, but played hurt. He was good.
I got Buster Posey.
Nope, can't do it, wouldn't do it.
Yes, it's a hard play. It's a hard play. Yeah, I'd never put Steve Garvey on the list either, but that's just the way it goes. I mean, Buster Posey, I loved his name. Buster Posey. Come on, how can you not love Buster Posey?
Because he played for the Giants.
Of course. What else you got?
I got 2 more, both of them somewhat current. Joe Mauer.
Possible.
I got him. He was kind of toward the end. I got one that's currently playing. Yeah, it's a bit of heart, but I think he's got the potential. He was at the end of my honorable mentions.
Who's that?
Will Smith. He's got the potential to get up there. He's only been playing 6 years, but
you never know.
I just think he's, as far as like today's catchers, I think he's probably, and he's talked about that with everybody. He's one of the best ones out there today. I think he's got the potential to get there. Is he close to it now? No.
Well,
but he's got a lot of.
That's all you can ask.
He's got a lot of years left, I hope.
That's all you can ask.
So, yeah.
The potential to become a star.
Yep. That was my other one.
He can run a team. He's a field general.
Yes.
And there aren't many of them out there.
No. And
he is one.
And he hits. He's another one can hit. He's hit 2-hole for me. He hits 3, 4, 5.
Right.
He controls a pitching staff that
I know.
If you're a Dodger fan like I am, they go through 67 pitchers a freaking year. So he's got to try to control that and maintain that. So yeah.
My only other one was Sandy Alomar Jr.
Oh, that's a good pick.
This guy was just a
That's a good
he was a presence.
Yeah.
He was a presence.
He was another one that was never really great,
no,
but he was always good and always there.
he was consistent.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing about him. He's a good pick.
that's what I liked about him.
Yeah.
He was consistent. He was fun to watch. The guy could
Yeah.
again, another one of those guys that took the Latin American catcher thing and altered it to his size and stature and abilities.
Right.
He used what he had there, and he used what he saw in Bench and Fisk. He used what he saw in Pena and Santiago. He was I guess I'd call a student of the game.
Well, yeah.
He looked
Second
at everything,
place.
and he was one of those guys that was able to do
Was
it.
it second or third generation player? I mean, his dad played.
I don't think his grandpa.
Did he have it?
Well, but Roberto played his
Yeah.
brother, so there's three of them.
Hey, you look at those teams he was on. I mean, he had the benefit playing on some good Indian teams.
He did, but they never
But-
won anything.
But exactly, but they never won a damn thing.
That's what,
So-
that's what the Indians do.
He was on that team with some real attitude
Excuse me,
issues too.
Guardians. I don't think I got a Guardian logo on this shirt. Probably not. No, because this is from the 1990s. Okay, well, hey, that's our catchers. Do you have one more?
No, that was all I had.
Well,
That's it.
that's our catchers, and it gets us all out through the infield. We got outfielders and pitchers. We may break them down left, center.
We need to
right.
figure out how we're going to break those down
We'll
because
have to think about
yeah,
that.
we need to break them down. By
Well,
position.
most guys played only one outfield position.
For the most.
We can go left, center, and right.
we need to because we go outfielders. We're going to have 637 on the list. So
Well,
yeah, we
we'll
need to
have a
break
lot
them
of
down.
honorable mentions. But, Reggie Jackson will be your number one. I already know that, so I know we're going to do it. So, anyway, anyhow, any place, any other, that's our catchers, and we do appreciate you coming in. We want you to like, subscribe, share, let everyone know we're here. We want to get up to 5 million subscribers. We'd like to get up to, some more subscribers.
Yeah.
Get them out there. We like doing this. We love doing this. We want to do this. We want people to start responding and commenting and letting us know how we're doing because I know I'm great.
That's what we do. People argue with me all the time. Well, they won't do it on there, but argue with me.
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. Tell me you like Jerry Carter.
Ah.
I'll argue with you all day long.
I won't even.
Anyway, we do appreciate
Do
you
that.
coming in. We are going to be loading up on some more podcasts here. It's football time. It's NFL time. It's NCAA time. It's wrestling time. It's all kinds of. We have another top 10 list here popping up here pretty soon on some TV shows or movies or something.
Yep.
It's going to come up too. So be watching, be hanging on, and click that like button so every time something comes on, it'll go ding dong and wake you up and say, hey, you need to go watch these guys. So you got anything else, Chuck?
Nothing at the moment. Just
All
get out there and
right.
subscribe.
We will talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.